Alright, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about how to reach 10k a month with OFM, just scaling in general, making more money. A lot of people really do over confuse, the basic steps to reach this amount. I think 10k a month with OFM, it's probably one of the easiest ways to make money online, at least 10k a month compared to other businesses, with OFM, 10k is at the minimum that anyone can easily do if they just actually put effort in. So I'm going to talk about that today. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I'll be going in depth to each point here that I put. So yeah, so first one is don't waste too much time on the basics, agency logo, website, etc. Things like that. A lot of people, they'll spend literally like, I've literally seen people that have even joined my group, and they'll spend like over a month just creating their agency, like thinking of a name, thinking of a logo, or like making a logo, trying to make a website, trying to make an IG, all that stuff. When in reality, obviously it can help, but it actually isn't needed. A lot of people might tell you this, but it's actually not true. Most of the time, most agency owners at this point, they don't even have a website. If they do, they barely use it. They might not even have an actual agency name or an actual agency logo. They might not even have an agency Instagram. Personally, we don't even have a website anymore. It got taken down a long time ago, and we never made another one. We do have an agency Instagram, but we barely use it. We'll sometimes use it if a model that we want to sign says, "Oh, can I see your agency page?" That's the only reason why it's there. We don't outreach on that account. We don't do anything there. That's literally the only reason it's there. So there's no point wasting too much time on this when in reality it's not actually needed. Just because you have a cool looking agency or a cool looking website, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a model's going to instantly sign just because you have a nice logo. So yeah, next one is having the right information in this industry is key, and that's something that I feel like a lot of people would definitely agree with. Like that, I'm a bit more experienced. I definitely, for one, wish I kind of risked a bit more of my money starting off at OFM, because when I first started OFM, I tried to figure it all out by myself, and it was a big fail. My first month was horrible, but after that I said, you know what, I had like 1k left to my name, and I just bought random information I could find, and then I just went from there. And that's the key thing I feel like, especially with an industry like this where things change very often. In this business, certain marketing or traffic sources, they change very, very often. Like the way the platform works, the way you can go viral, or even methods on the platform. These things change so often that I feel like even if you see a YouTube video that's more than like 4 or 5 months old, chances are that thing might not even work anymore. So the industry does change a lot. The way the marketing works, the way a lot of things work, not just marketing in general. At least try to have a few people around you, otherwise it's going to be very difficult to, actually know what you're doing and know what is currently working. Like for example, if you guys are in the group, if you're watching this video and you're in the private group already, you'll probably know. But there's a new traffic source, a complete new traffic source that is working very well for me and my business partner right now. And most people that do OFM don't even know about it. Like it's so new that most people don't even know about it yet. It's not a very popular site, but there is still like 30 million people that use it. Now, the next one is outreaching is a numbers game. So one thing that a lot of beginners, and even myself, I'd say back when I was a beginner, one thing that a lot of people make as a mistake is when it comes to outreaching, they'll just kind of DM 10 more a day. They'll focus a lot more on the message they use rather than the amount of DMs they do, right? But in reality, outreaching is a numbers game. That's the main thing that's important that you have to understand about outreaching. No matter how good your message is, no matter how good your page looks, none of that. Outreaching is a numbers game at the end of the day. If you do 10 DMs, the chance of getting a model within a few days is very low. If you do 100 plus, chances are very high. Obviously, how your page looks, what your messages, those things do matter, of course. But the most important thing is a numbers game. You could use a shit message, but if you do 1,000 DMs a day, you'll probably still sign a model compared to someone that has a perfect page and a good message, but they only DM 5 girls a day, right? So that's the main thing you have to remember. Obviously, make sure your page looks good, make sure that sort of stuff looks good. But main thing is a numbers game. Um, and yeah, now the next one is find the right model. So one thing that I kind of did with my partner, that was a bit of a mistake, is we would just take on any model we possibly could, no matter what she looked like, no matter what phone she had, no matter how many hours a day she could work, no matter what she's comfortable with, anything like that. We would just say yes to any girl. Any girl we'd see, we'd DM them and try to sign them. But in reality, find the right model is one of the easiest ways to actually just make 10k a month. Like, your life will become so much easier once you find the right model. Like, me personally, a lot of people have different experiences. Me personally, I have a lot of experience and knowledge marketing girls that are like blonde, petite, skinny, that type of niche. Because they're the ones that I've managed the most. And for me, they convert the best. But obviously, there's a lot of people that are also very good with dominant girls, for example. Some people are good with trans, stuff like that. But finding the right model that you personally think will do well and has good information about her, like she has a good phone, she has a good, she has like a lot of content maybe already, or she works a lot like every day, so she can make content. Maybe she's comfortable with a lot of things, so you're not really like restricted on things you can and can't do. So yeah, find the right model is another thing. If you do want to reach that 10k a month a lot faster, you'll be able to do that with a girl who's actually got high potential, rather than just signing any girl thinking you can take it to 10k a month. Most girls, in my opinion, can actually reach 10k a month no matter what they look like. But that doesn't mean that it won't be harder. Like with a girl, like for example, for me, with a girl that's blonde, small, petite, whatever, a girl like that I could take to 10k a month so easily, like within 2 weeks probably. But if it's like a Colombian girl with an iPhone 8 that works 30 minutes a day, that barely speaks to me, you know, she probably could make that as well, but it would be a lot more effort, it would be a lot more harder. Um, Obviously, girls like that don't convert as good as well. So yeah. Now the next one is good management, making sure the model provides the required content for good results. So good management overall is just about actually having a relationship with the model. Now I'm not saying you to be best friends with her. You don't need to be. At the end of the day, it's a business, so they don't. They probably don't expect you to be friends with them either. But having a good relationship with them, talking to them, if they feel like if they sound like they're upset when they speak to you, you can ask. Just like you're not a robot, you can ask how their day's been, anything like that, or wish them a happy birthday. Random things like that. Sometimes buying them equipment, as a bonus or as like a gift. Um, Stuff like that. Actually having a relationship with them will also help because obviously if they actually enjoy working with you, it will mean they'll be more motivated to get the work done, all that stuff. But other than just actually having a good relationship with them, another thing that's important is actually making sure the model provides required content for the good results. So one thing a lot of people do as well is I don't know what the reason is behind it. I don't know if it's like they're scared to ask or they just don't realize it. But a lot of people will complain that their model doesn't have good enough content for this, that, whatever. But then they won't actually tell the model to fix it and help her, right? Like if you want good results, marketing is the key. And how does marketing work? It works with content. So if you don't have good content, you can't have good marketing, obviously. So making sure you have good content is very, very important. Actually helping them, like explain to them, what lighting they need to do, what angles they need to do, how they need to recreate this and that. Actually helping them in that sort of way will help be able to, kind of ensure they actually have a lot better content overall. Um, and yeah, just like I said, if your model doesn't provide good content, don't be scared to ask for more. At the end of the day, if you want to make money for her and yourself, you need good content. Like, you can have a 10 out of 10 girl that's, literally looks like Sophie Rain's twin, that is able to make 100 reels a day, but if the reels are completely dog shit, where the lighting is terrible, the angles are terrible, you know, everything about it is terrible, but she's good looking, it won't go viral, even if you're doing 100 reels a day. So, it's very important to do that. Now, next thing is choose 1 to 2 platforms that sound like you could do well with and stick to them, master it, and then scale plus automate. So I talked about this in my last video as well, but one thing that a lot of people do, and in my opinion, it can work. Like for 10k a month, it can work. Like if you were to do literally everything, if you were to do Instagram, escort sites, dating apps, Reddit, Twitter, literally everything, you could reach 10k a month. But you will sort of be in a scenario where you'll be spending so much time trying to do everything yourself, and it'll take you a lot more time trying to figure out how to kind of get out of that. I don't know what the word is. Like, kind of get out of that like issue where you're doing everything yourself and you don't know how to scale now, because you reach 10k a month, but you're sat there doing everything yourself, or you've maybe got a few VAs, but you're doing like every single platform out there. You might not even be good at any platform. Like they might all just be bringing you like bare minimum results, but in total it adds up to 10k a month. And then at that point, it just gets very hard to scale because you're not good at any platform. You're just doing everything. Your VAs might need your help, and you don't even know what to do to fix it. Stuff like that. And that's where it causes an issue where you might reach 10k a month, you might reach 5, but then you'll be stuck at that point. And obviously, this video is about reaching 10k a month, but at the end of the day, you still want to scale. So, being stuck at 10k a month, there's no point doing that. Even if you are dead broke right now and you think 10k a month sounds so good, once you reach that amount, you're obviously going to want to scale. And it's also not very sustainable. Like, you might reach 10k a month for 1 month, the next month you might hit 3k because you've not you not really had any good systems in place. Your VAs don't know what to do. You might be lazy and not get a certain platform done that day, which slows down your traffic, and then your chats make less money. Which is why overall it is a lot better to just choose 1 to 2 platforms. For example, Twitter and Reddit. Stick to them, learn them, understand how the platform works, and then you can scale it, have VAs, fully automate, and then move on. I basically mentioned the exact same thing here. Don't try to do 100 things at once. In my opinion, like I said, you could, with a good model, by doing 100 things at once, you could probably reach 10k. But when you're in that when you're in that situation, it's gonna be a lot harder to get out of, to actually scale past that. All right, next one is training and hiring good chatting/sales team. So another thing that a lot of people do is they'll do well on traffic. They'll do decently well. Like they might get a few paid subs a day, maybe like 10, 20, or they might get a few hundred free subs a day. But then they won't have a good chatting team. Like they'll just hire any random chatting agency or any random VA that claims they're a good chatter, and I'll just put them on the account and hope for the best. When in reality, if you do that, you're bound to fail because you don't actually like you've not trained them, you've not made sure that the team is actually good, nothing like that. I do have an entire video about chatting, like hiring. So I won't be going in full depth for like how to hire in this video, but if you guys want to check it out, then go ahead. But yeah, like just overall training and hiring a good chatting team is very important. Obviously, there are some good chatting agencies out there. I'm not saying all agencies are bad, but obviously some take like 25%, which is a very big amount. If you're on salary, if you're paying a girl salary, and they take 20%, then that's not too bad, but it's still a lot more than if you train your own chats and pay them like $3 an hour, right? So yeah, when you're a beginner, I wouldn't say it's bad to hire a chatting agency, because I know one thing that me and my partner did was when we were beginners, we hired a chatting agency to chat on our account, and once we found a good one, we'd basically used like their chatting style as kind of like proof of concept to train our own chatters, and then that way it was a lot easier to train as well as a beginner. So yeah, overall it's very important because chatting is where you make the most money, right? Like you're not gonna make money just from subs alone unless you are insane at traffic, like getting millions, hundreds of millions of views on like Instagram, for example, or on TikTok. But like, to make the good money, chatting is where it's at. So having a bad sales team or a bad chatting team, you will be missing out on a lot of money. So yeah, and overall, just scale, right? Like once you do one thing correctly, like once you have one platform that's bringing you money, if you have a good chatting team already, and you're on like, I don't know, 3K a month, 4K a month, 5K a month, at that point, if you're literally just doing one platform, don't just stick to that and think there's nothing else to do. From there, that's where you gotta scale. Move on to another thing or scale that one platform if you think you're not doing enough. Um, once again, fully automate it, and then move on, do more platforms. Keep going. There's never really a stop with it. You can keep. You can pretty much scale anything endlessly. Like a lot of people, they'll buy like 3 Reddit accounts and stick to 3 Reddit accounts. Where in reality, there's people out there doing like 100 Reddit accounts per model, right? Like you really can scale anything endlessly. Obviously, it's harder to do than said, but it's still very possible. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Hope you guys learned something from that. If you guys have any questions, just comment them, or you can join a group in the description. All the links will be there. And yeah.